Oh, I hear myself. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. Even though we thought it was going to rain, we ended up having some good weather. I appreciate everyone being here. We're here today because we want to support the measures that the 3 counselors put forward to really create a better safety net for our unhoused neighbors. And I appreciate every one of you coming out here and being here for that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And also, why don't we just give a big shout out to Bobby Williams, Counselor Bobby Williams, who is one of the 3 counselors who did that. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Counselor Williams. Right. All right, so we're gonna have a couple people come up here and say a few words today. First up, we have Drew. Where's Drew at?
It's pulling me.
Huh?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. Hey there, not much of a public speaker here, but here we go. So, obviously this has been something that is an ongoing problem, and the mantra for our government has basically been kick the can down the road. Well, some bad news that the road pretty much ends here. That this is pretty much, we have to do something now, and really we should have been focusing doing stuff on even earlier, but it's only going to get worse. Like for me, my rent went up $600 this past month. Yeah, it's not right. No, but I work two jobs. I work probably about 45 hours a week, and I live with.
You keep getting interrupted.
I live with 3 other people, and we can barely make rent. And this is something that, if I'm struggling, if people without, severe mental problems or anything are struggling to make ends meet, then eventually, this shit's going to start hitting everybody. And if we don't speak up now, then we're next,
We are.
Right.
We're way closer to the bottom than the top, so we gotta start speaking up now.
Solidarity.
As of right now, according to CNBC, 61% of people are living paycheck to paycheck.
That ain't right.
How many of you right now can afford a $600 rent hike or to your mortgage or anything? Anyone out there?
Nope.
Anyone out there ready for that?
No.
No. So this is something that right now we need to speak up to.
Right.
That's basically all I gotta say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have something to say?
You'd like to get up? Come on up.
Thank you. Sorry. Kevin?
Hey, Kevin.
Hi. Hi, my name is Kevin. I've been everywhere, and I've seen every spot of this town. If you can't get a job then, at least pick your fucking shit up. Please. It's a mess.
We're trying to.
All right.
Thank you.
Next up.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thanks, Kevin. Have a great day. All right. Next up, we have Joy's going to be coming in saying a few words.
Hello, thank you for coming. Solidarity to all people, all working class unite. We've got an opportunity tonight before us to change the composition of our community. And as that last gentleman mentioned, the thing that I've heard most from our unhoused neighbors is that they want to take care of their trash. There is a lot of trash, isn't there? But not all of it is created by the people who are actively living there. It's been sitting out. But yet, they cannot get rid of it without getting harassed by police or store owners. They can't use the Hannaford's dumpster. They can't use the Aldi dumpster without getting in trouble. So we want to do the simple thing, which is to give them a dumpster and give them a place to live. It is not the solution that will fix the problem but it will lead to a better future where we can start to actually work on the solution. So I'm going to read the statement that I have prepared for our City Hall meeting, which we will be encouraging everyone here to attend to speak in favor of the proposal put forward by our 3 city councilors. Which again, Bobby Williams, thank you very much for fighting for this cause. So, tonight we have the opportunity to set an example for what a compassionate community can look like in New Hampshire.
Right.
The proposal before the council, while far from being the solution to the structural problem of housing inaccessibility and income inequality, is a real effort to reduce harm to those facing the realities of extreme poverty. Realities that we cannot simply ignore and hope that they disappear. In fact, a failure to enact creative solutions now will only cause the problem facing our community to grow in the very near future. Being houseless is not a crime, and it is not something that our community can afford to turn a blind eye to. We have heard over and again that shelters and multi-year waiting lists for means-tested housing are incompatible with a dignified existence. Every year, the houseless population grows and the shelters become more overburdened and resultantly more stringent in their regulations. People with children and pets struggle to access emergency resources, and shelter beds are exceeded by sheer number of people who do make the decision to utilize them. During the warmer months, shelters cut the amount of beds, and people who prefer to camp stay in whatever areas they can find, sanctified or not. This increases isolation from basic survival needs and services, as well as safety risks from medical and substance use related emergencies. There is currently nothing that can stop these things from being realities. But much like providing children a skate park and recreational activities, it combats those problems by creating spaces where people feel that they are actually part of a community and allowed to exist, where services can contact them in a non-antagonistic way, and so those same services don't have to spend so much energy and money on chasing people across the city. The city can make areas as off-limits, but that won't stop desperate people from making desperate decisions. As we are witnessing a rise in evictions due to an economic crisis of COVID and inflation, more and more people will find themselves with no option but to find places to camp. The city can spend countless taxpayer dollars on policing off-limits areas every day to keep people away, or we can make the more humane, less expensive route of designating an area for camping and requiring those using the space to be its caretakers, coordinating with Parks and Rec staff and houseless outreach services in order to provide a safe environment for people to have the basic needs met, while a more sustainable and permanent solution is developed. I urge the City Council to accept this proposal, as it will be a net positive for our whole community, as well as a positive example for the rest of the state. We can show New Hampshire that it pays to show compassion to the most vulnerable. We can show that when we are working to support our communities from the bottom up, everyone can benefit. Public bathrooms and affordable housing will help not only our unhoused neighbors, but the single parents, the students, the workers, the elderly. It will show those who visit our community that we are more than just window dressing of a small town built for tourism, but a real community of people who care about and support each other, a place to live, not just to pass through. Please pass this proposal. Solidarity forever.
Thank you, Joy. Well said, well said. All right. Oh, let me look at my list. All right, next up we have Drew. Did I say that right? Did we? Oh, I'm sorry. See, I gotta open it up. We have Chris. Where is Chris? I never said I was good at this.
But you did
Doing great.
I'd like to take a moment here to talk about agency and responsibility and how problems aren't biodegradable. Now, I don't know any of the councilmen who will be sitting in front of me in the room at 6 o'clock today, and I'm utterly clueless about their political persuasions. Which among them are Save the World Democrats or Let Them Die Republicans? And to be completely frank, I don't particularly care. What I do care about is helping them answer the question, whose problem is this? The typical liberal enlightenment answer to this question is that responsibility is with the individual, that the condition of homelessness is one's own fault, and that the responsibility lies therein. What a wonderful string of words that is to the chairman engaged in the eternal political gambit, how do I make this somebody else's problem? Why, it is the fault of the individual, so I have no need to arise from my chair and dirty my hands over this matter. This is a very convenient answer to the ideologue, but it is less convenient to the pragmatist. Partisan hand-waving of this kind does not make the problem go away. It merely thrusts it upon the less prepared, upon my friends and I. I could describe to you the terror which occurs during the sudden need to use Narcan when the only medical training you've ever received was taking the first aid merit badge in the scouting program when you were 14. It becomes somewhat of a difficult task to read the instructions on the side of those little tubes when someone is dying in front of you. I could describe to you how unprepared I was when the gentleman came up swinging with curse words rather than moans and lamentations of a headache. Now, I've been doing this work for over a year at this point, and I've yet to be mugged or anything of the sorts, as interesting of a headline as that would be. I've somewhat developed a knack for breaking up fights and de-escalating, though I've never taken a day of relevant training in my life. And I've taken the liberty to map out the locations of camps, shelters, and handle alleviating what I can for the large unhoused population of Keene, whether that's sourcing food, hygiene products, medical supplies, or the logistics thereof. I'm ignorant as how the council here feels about the outsourcing of disposing sharps and other biohazardous materials to a 20-year-old with gloves he found discarded outside a Home Depot. I won't give an ounce of credence to the classist drivel, which, pretending to be concerns about neighborhood health, the who takes them in, who pays for it, or the variations of pearl clutching on crime. Right now, I take them in, I pay for it, and I deal with the crime. An introvert from Connecticut who is too young to buy a beer. You may pretend that faulting the individual in any way provides insight as to what we ought to do here. Parrying the question does not answer it. Though what an excellent way this is to make it somebody else's problem. The problem of my friends and I, who take the liberty of trekking into the woods and providing aid where the state fails to. And if it wasn't our problem, it would be the problem of police, investigators, and morticians. What an excellent use of the tax dollars such a strategy, or a lack thereof, provides. This potato isn't very hot, which leaves me clueless as why it seems so adamant falling into my lap. But again, problems aren't biodegradable. So whose problem is it going to be? Thank you.
All right. Everybody's back to Joe Sandotti.
Stand. Good cardboard. Hi, I'm Jeff. I'm a homeless guy. I'm the only one that actually came out here to do this. It's kind of first time thing for me. But
Thank you.
I'm 37 years old. I've been homeless off and on in this town for 14 years. And I do my share. I've traveled the Appalachian Trail with the whole concept of carry in, carry out. I do my fair share of cleaning up after myself, my girlfriend, and maybe a couple other friends that are incapable of doing so. But I can't do it all myself. And having that load of trash build up, I mean, I know that Homeless Outreach had come out last year to help clean up the wall of trash out past the power lines. That was an eyesore. I mean, nobody...
Disgusting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nobody out trailblazing or going on a nature hike or anything wants to see that. I don't blame them. I personally wouldn't want to see it either. I mean, if you're going out for a nature hike, you want to be able to look around and see nature, not just wall of China of trash. But like Joy asked me if I was going to come to this, I said I would, because out of all the homeless people I know, I'm the only one here to say my piece or whatever else. And like Homeless Outreach even asked us of what would we like to be done. And out of all of us, I was the only one who actually thought about it and said something. It's like a dumpster, a designated dumpster, so that way we could just bag up our stuff and take it to where it needs to go instead of trying to look for an open dumpster that we cannot put our trash into, because, you know, we get in trouble for that. If it's not our dumpster, we get in trouble for it. I've been down that road. It's not fun. And I mean, there's drug addicts, there's alcoholics, there's a diversity of homeless people. And for me, I'm too broken to work, and I'm not broken enough to be on Social Security or disability. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it sucks. I mean, I'm a two-time traumatic brain injury survivor, all to the left side of the head. I have numerous spine problems. I have the beginning progressive stages of Parkinson's disease. And every time I'd go in for a job interview, the person interviewing me would be like, "Why are you shaking?" And I'd tell them, and they're like, "Well, that's a liability. We can't hire you." I'm like, "Well, then how am I supposed to survive?" So, yeah, I don't like, but mainly it's the trash. Like, I get it. Carry in, carry out, but most people out there that are homeless don't care about themselves or the people around them. And for some of us, like getting kicked out from behind Hannaford's, first time I was homeless, I spent a night in a tent by myself in the woods behind Hannaford's. It's the scariest thing ever. And that's 14-something years ago. That's a long time. I can't even think that. And it's mainly just a trash issue. And for some, like, they have physical ailments where it's impossible for them to go from one place to another. Like, I know there's a large group of people out behind the hospital across the river. Large group of homeless people out there. How it looks out there, I don't know. No clue. But I try to do my share and pick up what trash I see and put it where it goes. And I tell people, it's like, hey, look, if you're gonna be out here, please pick up after yourself. Don't let it be someone else's problem, because you're making the trash. Be accountable for your stuff. Don't let it be put on someone else's shoulders. It's not their responsibility. It's your responsibility. If I make trash, it's my responsibility to pick it up. I don't know. I'm winging it. I don't know. I'm done.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Did a great job. Pretty sure you get better marks than me tonight. All right, last up we have Natalie. Nat, oh, I'm sorry. Justin to do one thing wrong.
So what I had wrote, I prepared for the council meeting, so I'll read it. However, I'll change a little bit of the wording so that it's not, so it's addressed to you guys. Oh, do I need to be close? Oh, there we go. Gotta find it. Wrote it on paper. All right. First of all, thank you all so much for listening to us. This issue is incredibly important as it involves people of our community. I have lived in Keene since I was 9. I went to Simon's Elementary School and I graduated from Keene High, and I'm a Keene State student now. This city is filled with memories, good and bad. Keene is my home and my community. Community means that we take care of one another, especially those who need the support, which is all of us, and all of us need support. In this town, the lack of care and community for our houseless neighbors is beyond disappointing. The treatment of houseless people in this community shows an epidemic of apathy. The fact that I have to stand here today to convince those in power that houseless people deserve human rights, that they deserve support, that they deserve basic empathy is maddening.
Hell yeah.
These are people, not pests. Why are we treating them as such? They are victims of a system that punishes the poor and offers little support to those struggling to make ends meet. We, the community, are asking to take stock of the city's houseless crisis and to provide programs that allow for designated camps with proper waste management and latrines. These people just need their basic needs taken care of. We are people. We need to have our basic needs taken care of so that we can do whatever it is that we need to thrive. And to deny people of their basic needs is inhumane. And that is what our city is doing by not listening and not taking care of our houseless neighbors and not taking care of all of us. Because there are people who are making ends meet who need to be taken care of. We all need to be taken care of. All of this would reduce harm and benefit not only our houseless neighbors, but the community as a whole. I understand that programs take time and money, but we cannot treat taking care of our community like it is a business with profits. Last summer, me and a group of people asked you to redistribute money from KPD. Each year, $200,000 gets paid as a raise to KPD. Each year, an extra $200,000. And me and a group of people asked, can we divest those funds? Can we reinvest in our community? Can we put it towards 100 Nights? Can we put it towards our houseless neighbors? And we were told no, it didn't happen. So we're back. We're back because this is an epidemic, this is a problem, and we need real solutions. There can be funding for these programs, and we have to take care of our community. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalie, and thank you, everyone. I'm sorry, why do I keep calling you Natalie? That's weird. All right, thank you, Nat, and thank you, everyone, for coming out. The committee meeting that we are attending, hopefully everyone here is attending and some of us are speaking at, starts at 6 o'clock. Right now it's just about 5:40, so we have 20 minutes until the meeting starts.